When we do great, Spurs at home, nothing but plaudits. When we've won a game and look shaky, you have to ask questions. And of course, injuries, fatigue. Like towards the end of the Aston Villa game, we looked knackered. And you know what, Cecil? Completely off topic, yeah. And obviously, there's injuries and all that kind of crap. But once you get into the pitch and it's 90 minutes, yeah, I do feel Mikel Arteta has to shoulder some blame. But I feel like our game management, when to kind of go gun ho, when to see out leads. Again, you saw the way we creep back at Wolves. You saw the way we conceded against Aston Villa. And Mikel Arteta in the last 2 weeks, obviously he has to take responsibility, but it's almost like he's sending indirect messages like, why are you players sitting back and dropping deeper and deeper? Like, we never told you to do that. Or is that the players? I don't know. Like, we need to kind of go back to basics in that regards.
Yeah. No, it's so a small, again, I've got to stop doing this, a small flex, but Ian Wright yesterday was with him chatting again at Ball League chatting, and he was saying, like, even the Gyökeres situation, he was like, those games at Wolves, like back in the day when he was playing those teams, like I think Leicester was his first game, and he was like, you got to bang goals early. You got to
bang them goals early, man. Floodgates.
Leicester, Southampton, these Leicester teams, you've got to show the league what you're about, and also build your confidence by getting goals against these teams. I know it's a slightly off topic, but it's it aligns with the question of, like, why are we not going for people early? Like, first half for Arsenal has been a problem recently. The first half, we haven't been good in many first halves against teams. That is an issue. It never used to. Well, actually, no, not that it never used to be. It used to be like, I can tell what sort of game we're going to play by the first 10 minutes of watching Arsenal. And that can be the case in many games. But if that's the case, then Arsenal, you need to start fast. I don't know. You don't need any more.
And the gaffer demanded that. So what the hell went wrong?
What went wrong? Because there should be no justification that we're going for a league title. Sit here on us, on our backs now. There's no justification to say, let's just go and try and get the game wrapped early. You got Arteta went really strong against Wolves. This team was very strong, in my opinion. I was quite surprised about the 11 that went out there to start the game. But that's probably because he was trying to send a message, say, let's get this done early, then we'll rotate and rest players. In the end, players had to overexert themselves because they were in a game still at 67 minutes. We didn't have a shot on target until second shot on target until the 70th minute. So like we'll pin back and push. So for me, I think it's an issue that, Arteta needs to look at that. Well, I don't even say, I play football. So to say, like, to get yourself up for everybody got a game every 3 days, to get yourself up for every game straight away, it might be hard, but you got to, it's his job. That's his job, actually.
You got to soldier through it, man.
You got to find a way to do it. So yeah, man, I just think it's an interesting one. It is something that we need to look at. We do need to start killing games off early, because one thing I want to mention as well is when Liverpool were winning games or them last minute winners, them at the start of the season, everyone was like, yeah. And Liverpool fans were like, we were saying this ain't sustainable. They were like, nah, what happens if it is? It's the Liverpool way. This is how we do it. Then look. Now
that's a humbler, man.
Let's look at Liverpool. I'm not being funny. We scored either equalizers last minute, Wolves, Aston Villa. We lost, but they scored a last minute winner. Even when we went to Sunderland, they got a last minute equalizer. Like, we're not killing games off quick.
Game management, man.
It's not good enough, yeah. And if I'm honest, looking across the Premier League, this is happening all over the place. We should listen. Man United yesterday,
crazy game
last minute. That for a team, I hold Arsenal in very high regard this season. We should be killing games off and not allowing teams to even have a sniff towards the 90 minutes.
Best defensive team in Europe. We're not performing like that.
Exactly. So if I hold my team at that high regard, we are currently top of the Premier League, Champions League. We should be keeping ourselves at high regard. We shouldn't be falling into the trap of these last minute equalizers, last minute winners. We saw it at Liverpool, they fell off. We've seen it at Man United recently. We've seen it even City when they went against Fulham. They were like 4 goals there. There was four
crazy game of football.
They started
conceded against Palace as well.
Exactly. We shouldn't be in these conversations. And if we are, we start ending up being like the rest. We're not supposed to be doing that this season. We should be cut from a different cloth. But it's an issue right now. So it's something, like I said at the beginning of this whole live, there's small fires. We are talking about them, and we rightly are, because this could bite us back in the neck if it continues this way. I think there's some issues coming in the future unless Arteta gets a grip and the players get a grip of what's coming. So that's why Everton is such a big game this weekend.
And you said it there, and you teed up the next question perfectly, Cecil, because obviously when it's all said and done, like, we've had a very tough run of games in it, and there's been injuries and all of those kind of things. I think since August, actually, excluding the international break, we've been playing twice a week in it, or 3 games in 10 days, etc., etc. So this is the first time of some welcome rest and preparation and all of that kind of stuff. Like, Do you think that's a big boost? Because we've got, obviously at not the time of making this vid, but from the point of Wolves, we've got a week's preparation for Everton. Do you think that's a boost? That's an advantage? Did we need it? Does it come at the right time? You know, is there a benefit for that beyond anything on the football pitch? Like maybe like resting their heads mentally and recharging? Like where you at with that?
Yeah. Yes, because what I heard of Mikel Arteta gave the players 2 days off is from what I'm
So they'll be
hearing.
back today. Yeah.
Wednesday,
Sunday, Monday, they should be back today, innit?
They're back today. So they'll probably do a light session today. And oh yeah, listen, I've been there. Like it definitely helps. I mean, I haven't been there at the Premier League level. I haven't been there at 3 games a week, but I've been there in the sense that when I did shoots with Rashford, he was saying, "Bro, we get days off, and it's blissful. Like a lot of players need it. I know
mentally more than anything, surely."
Exactly. People say, "Oh, players, you get paid so much money, it's only training," but like they need that little them rest. Yeah. So I think for the team, it's definitely big, and also the fact that players are coming back from injury. Let's not forget that. So these rest days where their brain can switch off and just be relaxed with their families or whatnot, especially in this period as well. It's this Christmas period where these little small endorphins, it's crazy, but these little things being with family around this period, bro, it all helps to get the team back. So I think
it's all about togetherness and all them kind of things. I know people laugh at Mikel Arteta for like, the speakers at Anfield and all of this, but all of these football managers are doing things like that. Anyone that has a business or a team is going to do those kind of things. But you need to, like you said, you need to have an insight like yourself where you know about football. You need to know about sports psychology and all of those kind of things. The one thing I would say for me is the biggest thing is I'm kind of cutting an excuse where I don't believe it, because obviously I've been saying creativity, low blocks, all of that was stuff last season. We should have known what we're doing, innit? But I think, we haven't had that long to train. Like we're not training, innit? Like we're probably not working on things, and relationships aren't being built. So you've got a week to, simply build some chemistry between the attacking players. Like you'll notice I keep saying the attackers, because I'm not saying it should be faultless. I'm not saying there's no context and all of those things. But I don't think it should be this dire. It's probably not as bad as I'm making out statistically, but Eze, Saka, Odegaard, whether people rate Gyökeres or not, you've got him. You've got players to do a lot better. I can't lie, Cecil, with that as well, yeah, we got to address the elephant in the room, because I've seen a lot of comments. You talk to me about Gyökeres, man, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Is it all his fault? Is it Arteta? Like, where are you at? Do you think he's actually bordering on being scapegoated now? Like, leave no stone unturned, man. Like, everything Gyökeres, man.
Okay. Right, so let me just first start. I'm doing a live about this at 4 p.m. today with Curtis.
Make sure you're there
as well. So please make sure you
on AFTV, I assume.
On AFTV, we're doing a live, about Gyökeres, and the striker situation. I'll try and cover everything because
take the floor, my guy.
Yeah, I'll try and cover everything. So firstly, let's just start with I'm team Victor Gyökeres from before he arrived. So when it was Benjamin Sesko or Gyökeres, I was always team Gyökeres. Yeah, I wanted Victor Gyökeres. I wanted someone different. I want someone who's a bit of a brute, someone who scores goals. And again, he won the Gerd Miller Award for scoring the most goals in any competition across all the leagues. So I was happy. I was like, we're getting a top striker. Let's not forget, he took a cut on his wages. He took a cut on the agency fee. He refused to train. He had the right mentality. He wanted to be at Arsenal, and he would sacrifice.
Never had preseason as well.
It never had a preseason. So all these things, I was like, okay, look, my man is here for the cause. Nice, we're doing well. We've missed out. All our fans said the same thing. We've all wanted a striker. That was be the final piece of the puzzle. So I was there. That was my view. So when he came, I was excited. I'll be honest, didn't have a preseason. Watched him preseason on tour. Did watch the open training when he was doing shooting. Can finish, but only has a trademark kind of like strike through the ball. Fine. I want a bit of a different goal category, be able to open up your foot, different types of goals, different types of shots. His one is basically a full strike through the ball. Mikel Marino has a bit more versatility when it comes to shooting. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But you know what? He's got a good goal record. So maybe maybe it's open training, maybe he's not playing to level up, but we're going to see him going forward. At Sporting as well, he looked a lot slimmer. He was doing runnings in behind. A certain style of goal was his way, running in behind and going one-on-one with the keeper and just slotting it in or smashing through the goalkeeper. Yeah, cool. At Arsenal, you can't do that because teams do low blocks. You don't get that much space to run in behind. And even when you do, it's for some reason, this Arsenal team, I haven't seen him do it. It's Martinelli. It's like creating space for Martinelli, which is, okay, it's fine, but we've got you here for goals. Now let's get to the criticisms, yeah? For me...
Anticipation, speed of thought, too nice. Be a bit more demanding.
Bro, even at the beginning, I was seeing him
make it on luck
by little men. Like, I think Yeah, Bruno Gomares weights him off the ball when he played Newcastle. I saw little man move to him, and I was thinking, brother, you are a big physical guy.
And I allow you because you're adapting, but like every week I have to be harsher now.
That's it. And I look at Victor Gyökeres week in, week out. At every game, I look at different things. So firstly, it was strength. He didn't really pass that test. I've seen him sometimes bully players, but I've seen more so him being pushed off the ball than him actually win the hold up play. Boys, some of his touches, and listen, everyone has a bad touch every now and then, but I'm scrutinizing because I'm a striker and I have to put you in a high regard because you're the player I wanted and I'm backing.
He's not an Arsenal striker, innit? Like the first touch, and that's horrible. But that's why I was on him, because it's so ugly. It's beautiful. Like you could be a brute. Like obviously, Haaland and Mateta are better than him, but they're not the most technical man in their side. They just use the 1-2 limitations they've got and keep it moving. And for me, Cecil, sorry to cut you, it's the anticipation. I understand, you made some great points around adapting and things like that. And I understand your rhythm kind of got dispelled because you got injured and whatnot. Yeah. But the anticipation, the ruthlessness, the savagery to want to get in behind. Like there was a moment Saka delivered the ball. He did get there, but he was too late. Nice. I don't know if in the Portuguese league, things happen slower, but these are the things. There's probably an element of like his confidence as well. But I need him to make his own luck as well, man. Like I've seen worse players thrive in the Premier League. I'm still Team Gyökeres, but for me, bro, it's looking like a squad player thing. But go on, man. You're the guest, man. I cut you in.
I'm with you, Deluded. So I'm still Team Gyökeres. I'm not giving up on him. But let me give you some. These are some things that what I was going to give away in the live at 4 p.m. is the information that I don't think many people are speaking about. So when, as a striker, as a top striker, top striker is actually very key. You have to have an air of arrogance, arrogance. Some will say confidence. That's fine. I don't mind.
Sure he's got it, but you're not displaying it.
You have to have an air of arrogance. Let me give you some examples. Haaland, look how the brother scores. Look at his celebrations these days. He's like, bro, normal.
I'm the man still.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'll go to he's not a striker, but Mo Salah. I don't need to talk about arrogance. You can see from recent press, my man rates himself. Yeah, don't need to say any more on him. Cristiano Ronaldo, again, wasn't a striker, but one of the best in the world, scores plenty of goals. There's an air of arrogance, their confidence. Ivan Toney was a striker. You look at him, he rates himself. He doesn't need to do the whole bravado and talk about it. You can just tell by the way he is, how he is. When he was in the Premier League, he rates himself. Again, one person I'm going to mention, Harry Kane doesn't have arrogance from when I watch him, but he has a bit of nastiness in him. You can see the way he leans into players. There's an arrogance and a nastiness to him that it's not outwardly arrogance, but there's an odd nastiness to him that I don't see in Victor Gyökeres' game. So much so that when my man scores, Victor Gyökeres, brother, we got other players telling him, bro, do your celebration. You're too shy to your own celebration. I've seen Rice say, bro, do the thing. I've seen Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, push him, go and do your bro. I get it. You need confidence. It's the best drug as a striker to have. But
do you think life's hit him too quickly in that regards then? Because obviously we're probably one of those clubs, where you're now here. You're seeing how mad Arsenal is, and it's there's pressure. Everyone talks like you're the only striker that's moved in the summer. Like, do you think that's playing the regards then? Like he's still kind of finding his feet then psychologically?
Yeah, I think he's still finding his feet. I think he still doesn't have the belief in himself. I don't see that arrogance that I need from my number 9, especially at Arsenal. Like. And brother, like you had the confidence of wear the 14 top, but bro, that's a heavy top. And I don't want to go back to numbers because that's not the be all and end all factor. But it's like,
but we know the history of that number.
Yeah, and I see the confidence to wear that. Be our striker. Like you're too right now. You're too shy, and I think that's an issue. That's a problem. And so much so that like people are talking about, bro, wait till Havertz comes back, bro. I'm looking at Jesus now and saying he can take your place. You're supposed to be the striker. Say no way. And on top of that, players are taking goals from you. Timber's winning headers in front of you, and you're bro. That doesn't happen against Haaland. Haaland would never have O'Reilly win a header and Haaland be like, when it's gone on to Haaland's head, he wouldn't be cool with that. You shouldn't be cool with these things, bro. So that's an issue. Why is no one talking about Isak and what he's done, bro? He's an issue as well. By the way, he was my number 1 choice. So again, he's a problem. He's a problem at Liverpool. That's not Arsenal. So I don't.
I hear Bumpy's point, but like we're on that. It's an Arsenal chat still.
And
there's an Arsenal tax. We know that it applies to Gyökeres and anything we do. Like
and again, like I'm not saying he's the sole problem, and I'm not giving up on Victor Gyökeres because he scored that many. 97 goals in 102 games. I don't care what league it is. There's a stat there that you score that many goals in any league, you're a good enough player to run with.
He's got quality. to be a lot better than he is now. Whether he's the guy for us is another thing. But for me, I think it's a twofold, man. I think he's never going to be the prettiest. His link-up play is never going to be the prettiest. But I do think he's tried his best and kind of adapted to what Arteta's demanded from a striker. I do think, and Arteta said it, the team needs to find him a bit better. Obviously, players, including him, stay fit. Relationships start getting built. But I see a limited striker with limitations. So I want him to be in the box to enhance those limitations, innit? You know there's no point of Haaland being on a football field if you're not giving him tappings, creating chances, letting him run in behind. I feel that way with Gyökeres, and I don't know anyone else's thoughts, but I don't really care for all of this. Arteta didn't want him, he did want him. At some point, Berta, Arteta, and anyone that dot sides and cross T's, they've sanctioned this. Can he score goals? Yes. Can he affect the game and do what I want in the system beyond goals? They've said yes. So make it happen. And I honestly think, regardless of what I think about Gyökeres, if he was slapped at some other teams in the Premier League, I'm not saying he'd be setting the world alight, but he'd be doing a lot better. And there is a bit of attacking tax, for all of these attackers. Gyökeres, we've said that. Gyökeres, Eze, Odegaard, Saka in particular. Martinelli's a special case of his own. So it's a techie one, man, with this guy, man. But I want him to do well. I'm still backing him.
Yeah, I'm still backing him as well. I'm not gonna go full hog and slate him too much. But I will say again that furious touches thing on the walls, that stat, that's mad, because like it's all well and good. Haaland, same thing. He the last game barely touched the ball, scores a header. Yeah, but he's not Haaland, Victor Gyökeres. But I need to hold you in high regard. And on top of that as well, you just mentioned a few things there. I won't give up on him because I've backed him, but we do need to see a lot more. It's concerning when Jesus is coming in and having a better performance after 2 double knee injuries, coming back and then affecting the game more. I also will say, again, I mentioned when he arrived, he's going to have to adapt his game as much as Arsenal have to adapt their game to him. I got slated. I remember people saying, what do you mean he has to adapt his game? We brought him to score goals. All he's got to do is score goals. The team should have to adapt.
Actually watching football then.
That's what I'm saying. And I always said, like, Thierry Henry said the same thing about Haaland. He said when Haaland arrived, they were questioning, because remember, Haaland got criticised as well because the team weren't looking for him or putting the balls in behind, or they weren't playing to his strengths as well. But he had to adapt his game, get more involved, find out when certain players receive the ball, that's when you make the run and whatnot and make those connections.
Be a bulldozer, man. Don't do the pretty thing. You're not here for that.
And I think Victor Gyökeres just has to do the same. I think he has to adapt his game as much as Arsenal have to adapt to him. He also has to do that as well. That's a sign of a good player. That's a sign of a good player. And when he said about Mikel Arteta and what fans keep saying, yeah, I think Sesko was Mikel Arteta's choice and Andrew Berta got Gyökeres. Brother, Mikel Arteta, bro, you are deemed as a top manager. If anything, you've been given more blessings by us as fans or people backing you, then maybe you deserve, because I'm a big Arteta fan, but maybe more than you deserve. So if that's the case, you're that top manager, you have to make it work, brother. That is your job. That's what you get. You are very well paid. That's what you have to do. That's how you earn your wages. You make these things work. That is what you're here to do, my friend. And you've been blessed. You've got a very expensive squad and you've been given a lot of money as well as a manager. Make it work. I don't care if Sesko or if Sesko is your first option. I don't care if Victor Gyökeres wasn't even on your list. I don't care if you've got to go and bring back Eddie and Nketiah. You make it work, brother.
Big up Eddie, but God forbid.
Yeah, big up Eddie. But bro, that's what you got to do, bro. So yeah, that is it. That is it. Yeah.
And that's the weird one. Like for me, I like Gyökeres. Like even if it don't work out, I think you could be a tool in our Arsenal, if that makes sense. I do like the fact that I don't really want to praise you for this because everybody's got to do it, but you do occupy centre halves. You do tire them out. You do bring other players into game. In terms of managing game states, one thing I've clocked, I think it happened against Wolves. It definitely happened before he got injured against Burnley, or better yet, the second half against Burnley away. When he comes off, teams start going deeper. So I do like you for that, but I want it to be better than that. Right now, I just see you as a tool. I see us with 4 strikers. You're all good players, but there's no one I put my hat on for 30, 38 games. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's the territory I wanted to move in Arsenal. Like I look at Gabriel Jesus. I big up Jesus for returning, but I think fans got short memories because they were onto him. Now he's the bee's knees. But you've got Jesus, you've got Kai, you got Marino, and you've got Gyökeres. I just see like you lot are just tools that could be utilized, in it. So it's a weird one. Nobody's really standing out. Gyökeres, your link-up play might arguably not be as great as the others, but you've got a CV that does what they can't. Put the ball in the back of the net. You don't become a bad player overnight. He's probably signed a 4 or 5 year deal. and yeah, just make it happen. The only issue is you are 27. It kind of does need to bang. Like it really does. It's not like a Sesko where we might be able to flog him or anything like that. I believe in him though. I can't lie though. Do you think he's being scapegoated? Because I do genuinely believe he can be criticized. No one's above praise or criticism. But I think the fallout in the Wolves game, you'd think he's the only player playing. Our players are not creating. Like, there's also another statistic. For the life of me, I ain't got it to hand. But I think Saka, Timber, and literally two other men, they have found Gyökeres once in the first half. So that's on the players to do more. That's on going back to what you said about breaking down low blocks. But do you think he's crossed into that territory of being scapegoated?
Yeah, a little bit of like with all those tabs you got open, mad that you got
mad thing, man.
It's crazy. I was thinking,
the method to the madness, man.
I hear it. I scapegoated. I don't know. Yeah, so I haven't been so online to see that if people are actually. I see rival fans saying he runs like a body.
I ain't even talking about the rivals. I just think Arsenal fans on YouTube, the media houses.
I haven't been across the universe of Arsenal too much to see how much hate he's getting. I know people are talking about him, but I actually think conversations are right to be had about him. However, I will caveat it by saying we didn't pay over the odds for Victor Gyökeres, in my opinion. So it's not like
they would make you believe we are the way they speak about him. Like we spent 100 million quid.
Exactly. Well, that's when that guy brought up Isak. I think like we shouldn't be going. That's why I said I don't think we should be going too harsh on my man. Like let's not forget, like. I'm not going to bring it to. Well, I'll say Kai Havertz 65 million. He was on 275 grand a week. Yeah, so that when those conversations were being had about him not being the that sort of player for that money, I get it because we're paying so much money for him, and that's why he got heavily scrutinized. For Gyökeres, I don't think we're overpaying the odds. So you can scrutinize him and how he plays and how he can improve. But I don't think we should be going making him this. He's the reason why we're in this. This is the reason why things aren't working because of him. I think that's a bit too far. If I'm being honest, because there's also other players that really aren't performing, and we're not giving the same energy. So as long as I think, and because we're winning games as well, I also think, no one's really getting too on him. But if we start losing games, then it'll get worse. That's why I'm hoping if people scapegoating him now, please try and refrain from it because there'll be a massive pile if things start going worse for us. Maybe not just on it. Well, they probably will. If it's bad now on him, it'll get even worse on him, which I don't think is fair because he is still adapting to the league.
And it's a team game.
Yeah, and there's other issues in the squad as well. But there's conversations should be had. Little fires. This is another little fire. It needs to be discussed. I'm doing a whole live on it today, so I'm not going to
4 p.m. folks. Make sure you're there.
Facts. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that the conversation should be being had about him, but there's no way he is the main issue in Arsenal right now. That Wolves game, I'm not putting.
And we had these attacking issues last season as well. Like the Wolves games, everything. We didn't create enough. We didn't defend well. The only things we did is obviously get the 3 points. It's one of our worst performances of the season. And the one thing I would say to Gyökeres, whether he becomes good but not quite great, strikers are weird, innit? Like they're weird they're probably the weirdest players on a pitch in that they score 3 games in a row, they feel like Superman. They ain't scored 3 games in a row, they feel rubbish. And as much as I actually think Gyökeres will be okay, maybe he might not be the guy we want, but he'll be okay because you look through his career, he's got resilience. But the one thing I would say, Gyökeres, I can make excuses about low blocks, or these are valid claims about low blocks and creativity. At the end of the day, in the same way I'm saying whether you was Arteta striker or not, he still signed you. You still signed for this football club. You've got to make it happen. Like, you've got to make it happen. I'm even at the point now, and I know it's dumb, but I would want to see my striker, like, just take some shots. Obviously, if he scores, great. But even if it's going into Rose Ed, it's going into Finsbury Park Station, at least he's kind of prominent. The one time I will get really scared about Gyökeres is if there's a bag of sitters and he's not converting. We create some chances. This guy will bag, man. He will bag.
That's it, because we haven't really seen that yet. We haven't seen him miss, like, open, clear-cut chances.
Exactly.
It's funny because I was literally going to jump in and be like, well, he occupies the centre back. He doesn't really get involved in the play. But I'm like, I'm trying to refrain from saying you need to adapt more and get involved in the play because then you become like all the other strikers that we have. And I don't really know if I want that. But then if you're not doing what we brought you for, to be in the box and scoring goals, then then you might not get that starting berth, Victor Gyökeres. And you have to understand why that is, because we brought you to score goals, maybe occupy the centre backs and be that clinical target man and finisher. But if you're not doing that, then I want you to do the other things. But I don't want you to do the other things because we've got players that can do the other things, like Jesus, Havertz, and Mikel Marino. They can fall into pockets of space and pick up the ball and bring in other players. So my friend...
And Odegaard, he plays with Haaland for Norway, so he must... Obviously, you're not Haaland, but he knows about finding strikers that are only interested in bagging.
Facts. So you got...
And Eze as well.
So you got to go and build that relationship with Odegaard and find that solution. And look, you quickly, sorry, big up your chat. Bloody hell, your mods are sick, bruv.
Big up the mods, man. We assembled a great team. I'll give Berta a run for his money where recruitment's concerned. Like, it's just positive vibes over here, man. Anyone that does stupidness, mods get them out of here, bro. They get them out of here.
You got a good community here, dude. I can't even
big
lie.
Up the DG Nation, man.
Yeah, man. Big up you guys. Serious. I'm just reading some of the comments and this is wicked. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't we'll digress back to the Arsenal.
No, man, give them their flowers as well. Appreciate that on behalf of them, man.
Sick, man. I actually love that. They're getting the links up. They're getting the man.
Yeah, man. They're on job. Big up you, lot.
Good community, man. And also, sorry.
Go on.
Deluded. Big up you, bro. Flip ITV, the World Cup live draw, man. So
you make me shy, man. Appreciate it.
I know I messaged you privately. I was supposed to at the start of the show, but no, man. I'm very honestly, it brought a big smile to my face. Obviously, I see you on LinkedIn. I see what you're doing at TalkSport as well. It's massive. But do you see?
Make me cry, mate.
No, but when I see people in the space, because everyone can eat, everyone has a right to have we're all fans and we're all breaking down this media space. I love to see it, bro.
Chisel by chisel.
You, man. No, serious, man. I got a lot of time, and that is a huge job that ITV the World Cup draw, man. So big up.
If I'm honest, but appreciate it.
No, but it's amazing to see. All that things add to your history, your legacy as well, man. Going forward, you're gonna look back on things like that. Big up, man. No, I had to.
Man, you're making us teary here, man. Football's almost irrelevant now. You're praising our chat and you're giving me flowers. Appreciate you, Cecil, man.
It's deserved. Massively.
Let me ask you as well, yeah. I don't want to forget this, yeah. This is so completely off topic, yeah. But obviously, City are on our tails every week. You know, we've at the start of the season, Arsenal were not on nothing. Liverpool are winning games and not resting on their laurels. You know, Arteta can't put the handbrake down. Then it looked like no one could catch Arsenal. Chelsea and Aston Villa have come into the fore. People have played down City and now they're kind of talking them up. Like, at the end of the day, we're in a good platform, innit? There's been a lot to discuss and we're in December, Cecil, innit? But I saw this, yeah, with Olivier Giroud in relation to the game yesterday. And I know Arsenal is not the same now, yeah, but he said, well, you could say it is, some haters would. Usually, we used to get nervous around February and March. I remember when Leicester won the title in 2016, we collapsed a little bit in that time. Hopefully, they win the title. I think he means I wish them well. Is that a concern of yours around February and March and, like, I guess, vaguely crunch time with this squad?
I mean, I think if you're an Arsenal fan that's been following the team for a while, you'll know that, yeah, of course it's a concern. I mean, the back, only because I'll be honest, it's just PTSD. It's not like, no, it's PTSD. And obviously City are there. PTSD of just like, bro, 3 years, being second 3 years in a row is actually mad, you know, like it's actually a mad, like, it's a mad stat. It's a mad thing to say. To do it, if you do 4 years in a row, becoming good, being second, that is, I don't know. I just think that's.
I'll be real. I don't know where we go from there. You know, whether the manager goes or leaves.
Same. Whether the manager goes, I leave. I think fuck this shit. Well, I can't be bothered to keep doing this. I don't know.
I think we just focus on the champs, man. Forget
them. Bro. I can't do another year of coming second. So, of course, it's PTSD. Like I'm worried about those months because that's where it all comes down. It's the crunch time. Can we do it? And yeah, so that's I think I didn't actually get to. I know that was yesterday. Obviously,
I didn't catch this. I didn't catch it. I watched the game. I didn't even catch this. I just saw it on Twitter as I was.
Yeah, people were talking about. We funny enough had a meeting this morning with AFTV, and they were talking about Giroud actually being on it and talking about. But I missed it as well. So, but if he's talking about those months, I think many Arsenal fans, if you've been following us for the past couple of seasons, we all are going to be concerned and worried. And if I'm honest, probably the most emotional in those months coming into the new year, after that January window closes. Yeah, I think this fan base, myself, we're going to be a bit tetchy. We're going to be a bit emotional because it's going to be crunch time. Hopefully, we would have won the Carabao Cup, the League Cup by then, but we'll see.
Hopefully, do we even? Boy, with the amount of injuries and I would love to see the 11 we put out there. Like Cecil, I'm at the point now where my focus is just with Everton. After Everton, it's Brighton or Crystal Palace, whichever game comes first. I think it's Crystal Palace. I'm getting a bit nervous. You touched on it in passing comment, yeah. Now, I'm sure, you know what, literally, if we did this show 2 months ago, and I'm sure if you asked me or I asked you, do you think we'll sign anyone in Jan? Nah, man, the squad, blah, blah, blah. There was that little point where we might have said, oh, yeah, you know what, cover for Declan Rice if something happens. Maybe we'd still retain hope of a left winger if we got involved in Semenyo. Now our defense is collapsing. Do you think we need to, and do you think we will do anything in January, whether that's high profile, low profile, loans, etc.? Because well, we've got less players than we can count now. You know, more players, and we're in the same injury scenario for whatever reason. I'm getting a bit nervous. I don't want to look at January 2026 when it ends like I did in January 2025 with that feeling I had. Like, if I'm honest, I think the club, so those decision makers, failed our players and fans last year. But where are you at with that?
I think it's funny. I thought I haven't been on here for quite a while, but I've actually asked other Arsenal fans this.